who have not got the previous day's sessions recording, please get in touch with Emmanuel. I hope you're also part of the WhatsApp chat channel. So he's from the admin team and sales team, and he will take care of it. Okay, so don't worry, if you have missed the class, you will still get access to the recording. Okay, so to begin with, today's agenda would be taking care of AWS account. So it is mandatory, you should have a AWS account here. I'm once again asking, is there anybody who is having trouble creating a AWS account? I hope everybody has done it. Okay, it's easy, but it's also not that straightforward. There are quite a few things that needs to be actually taken care of after the account is created and while the account is being created. So for using the AWS account securely, well, of course, you will be logging into your PC, laptop, whatever. But then additionally, you will need a smartphone as well. That I will explain today, why you need that. It is absolutely essential that you secure your account. Otherwise, it can get hacked. Okay, so don't use an easy password. This is a very, it is a kind of account using which you can actually create a data center. So treat it like your checkbook or debit or credit card. Okay, it is a very dangerous thing and very highly cost incurring in case it gets hacked. And accounts do get hacked. So please take this seriously. Now, before I proceed, could somebody kindly share their screen if they are sitting in front of their system? Then it would be easy for me to show the steps.
I can share.
Thank you, Kiran. Yeah, so kindly, I'll stop my sharing here.
Mm-hmm.
Kindly start your screen sharing.
Yeah, let me know when you're able to see the screen.
Yes, it is visible. Okay,
so what do you want me to launch?
Okay, press Windows D first of all.
Okay.
This is a Windows, yeah, Windows 11. Fine, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have? Are you going to work on this system only?
Yeah.
For the duration of the class? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean course, not class. So it is for the rest of the folks as well. Our task will involve activities where you will need administrative access. Okay, so make sure whatever system you are using, be it a Windows system or a Linux system or a Mac, you definitely should have administrator access. Otherwise, there are quite a few things which will get blocked, and ultimately your lab session will not successfully, it will not be conclusive. You will be left hanging midway. Okay, so, right. So let me understand. I'm speaking to Kiran now, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Kallol.
Sorry, I apologize if I keep messing up your names.
No, don't worry.
Many people, so I apologize in the beginning. So Kiran, have you created any IAM user or?
Yeah, let me show you what I've done. Yeah.
No, I will tell you. All your answers will be questions will be answered. First, kindly go to the. Maximize the window.
Yeah.
Now go to the AWS console. Don't log in. Just go to the AWS console. Yeah. The link. Yeah. Okay. So this is going for a. Are you already? No, you're not logged in. Okay. So
no, I'm not logged in.
You can create a free account. You've got two options. Okay. So Kiran, if you don't mind, kindly give me access here. I'm requesting remote control here.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got two things here. Either you can sign into the console or you can create a free account. Obviously, for people who have not created it yet, kindly do that. But before signing into the console, let me quickly discuss something about the free tier account. This is very important. No, this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Let us discuss the features of free tier. So what it is showing as free. So see, there are in the free tier, first of all, it is 12 months free for 1 year. For people who have joined new, please make sure you work on a new account, or if you already have a AWS account, make sure you have got sufficient time available in the free tier. Now, under the free tier offer, 12 months it is free, and then there are certain free trials. Okay, it's not as if all the products are free. No, it is not like that. Even if you have a new account, there are certain things which will always remain free. They do not expire. But then it is so cleverly designed that even if it is always free, somewhere down the line, you will need some dependent service from Amazon, which will then be chargeable. Okay, so the free tier thing, what is free and what is not? What is not free, understand that very clearly here. So we will be using EC2 instances. These are the remote servers that we create. So consider them like computers. If you go to a shop, you can get either you can buy a brand new computer, be it a desktop or a laptop, or you can get it assembled. The processor, the RAM, the motherboard, and rest of the stuff. So consider the EC2 as something like we are assembling virtually. Okay. So now there is a bit of calculation here. So let's understand the calculation. So 750 hours is free per month. Okay. So what does this mean? This means that if you create one EC2 instance in the entire AWS account, if you keep it running for 24 hours, multiplied by 30 odd days in a given month, actually, let me make it 31. Let me take the maximum value. 24 multiplied by 31. This gives 744 hours. So if you have only one single EC2 instance during the 12-month free tier period, once you enroll for it, if you keep it switched on all the time, all day, all month, you are still going to be using less than 750 hours. So this will not be chargeable. Okay, but then there are, as I said, we are virtually assembling a computer. That means there will be various options for us. We can change the number of processors. We can increase the RAM size. We can increase the networking strength of the instance. If you do that, all of them are not free. There are, I mean, like if you're going to use a system with 64 processors, with 128 GB of RAM, that is going to get chargeable. Okay. That is the reason why we use T2 Micro for our academic studying and training. Now, let us understand this further. It is very simple. Always remember a total of 750 hours is available. That is a total, not per EC2. This includes all the EC2 instances. So in case you have got, so this is 744 hours is for one EC2. But in case you keep two EC2 runnings, that will mean that 1,488 hours have been used on AWS platform. Okay. So out of that, they are going to deduct 750 hours. And this remaining hours will become chargeable. The charge depends on the kind of resource you are using. So for example, if you're using EC2, that will be per hour basis, on a per hour basis. Different EC2 instances have different rates. The rates also vary from region to region. What is the rate that is applicable for the Mumbai region will not be the same, which may not be the same what is applicable for Virginia in US. Okay, so please understand, I will show you when we create EC2 instances. Once our work is done, or if it is incomplete, you can start it up later again. Till the time you are not working on it, treat it as if it is not free. Any of the resources that you are using in AWS, consider them, they are not free. Usually in business organizations or in companies, the servers are always kept running 24/7. But then we are not working in a business environment here. We are in a training environment. So as soon as your work is done on an EC2 instance, make sure you stop it. So this was the example. So although it is free, don't think that it is entirely free. No, it is not like that. In terms of storage, right now we are not going to use S3, but then still 5 GB of storage is provided. Okay. More than that, it will get chargeable. Anyways, don't be afraid. The AWS prices are actually very less because this is on cloud. And that is the reason why AWS has been so much successful in the cloud industry for providing infrastructure as a service. Now, apart from that, in case any bill comes up unknowingly, by mistake, you did it in a different region, you started multiple instances and then you forgot to stop them or terminate them, and the bill came up, you can submit requests for reversal of the charge. But then there is a limit to how many times. That will actually depend on AWS if they revert the charge or not. So please be very careful. Only do the things that I am showing in the videos. I mean, like in the sessions. Okay. So these are other like databases, Lambda functions. So there are various methodologies how you will get charged. Either it will be for transaction. For example, if you're using AWS Lambda function, you will have 1 million requests per month. Okay. But compared to that, I mean, like these are other services. It will depend on what you are using. Sometimes it will be per GB. Sometimes it will be on the count of input-output operations, or otherwise it will be on the basis of hours. Okay. So always use the free OS versions. The free, I mean, like for EC2 instance, our T2 micro will be more than enough for studying. So please keep in mind, although it is free, but do not treat it as free. Otherwise, you will become lethargic, and because of that lax attitude, you might incur a bill. Well, having said that, billing we will discuss later on. Kiran, if you could kindly click on, okay, not sign up. Let's close this. So let us sign into your console.
Do you want me to sign in as a root user, right?
No, wait. I will ask you when to do it.
Yeah, okay.
So when you sign in to AWS console, you will have two options. Either you can sign in as a root user, or you can sign in as a IAM user. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. Okay. So we will discuss about this today, but before that, let us when you sign up and you create your AWS account, the first account created will always be the root user only. Once you, first time for you, when you log into the root user, after that, the first thing that you should do is always create a IAM user and assign them administrative role. So a single administrative user will be enough for us for day-to-day activities. Please do not use your root user. The first thing, we need to secure all our accounts, but it starts with the root user. So now I will show you how to secure your root user account. Okay, so Kiran, if you would be kind enough. In the root user, you will have to sign in using the email. Make a note of the email that you have used for signing into your root user. In case you forget your password or anything else, this is the, for resetting it, you will definitely need that. Okay, now Kiran has logged into his root user account, but then this account is not secure at all. So how do we secure it? First of all, there is something called MFA, multi-factor authentication. That is the first thing that you should actually use or configure in your AWS account. So how you can do that? For doing that, search for IAM, that is one of the services. So IAM, Identity Access Management. This is the place where you create groups, users, roles, policies. Okay, so see, there is a red flag already. Add MFA for root user. So let us do that multi-factor authentication. Kiran, you should have a smartphone ready with you.
Give me 1 second. I'll just bring it. Yeah, just 1 second. I'll be back.
Okay. So this is the primary thing. Okay, what it will mean ultimately, I mean, like, I will share a document with you guys. Whenever you log into these kind of accounts, in companies, you will be using either physical devices before you can authenticate yourself. This is apart from the login ID and password. There would be some kind of physical device. For example, a USB token like YubiKey. Okay, some kind of device will be there like this. These are physical devices. A YubiKey is just one of the example I'm giving. There might be RSA key or YubiKey. So these are, as you can see, all these devices are biometrically configured. So nowadays, computers are coming up with, particularly laptops and even desktops also. They are coming with USB-C port. So this golden part that you can see on each of them, this small, tiny golden part here, that is for biometric sensing. Okay, so first, so there are two factors. If you are using a physical key for authentication, you will need to have this key physically plugged into your system, to your desktop or PC or laptop. Okay, and then you will also have to authenticate using your biometric fingerprint. Once it is done, only then it will allow you access to the PC. So this is one of the ways how you can authenticate yourself using a hardware. This is a hardware device. But what we are doing is, now see, obviously for training purpose, now we are not going to spend like more than $50, 50 pounds here. Okay, but this is what anyways you will, this is how the two-factor authentication happens here. So that two-factor authentication is, we can still do it. The only thing is you will be requiring, instead of a hardware device, we can do it virtually using your smartphone. So in a way, that smartphone is actually the hardware device. Why so? Because most of the smartphones, I mean, like they would definitely either you will need to type in a PIN manually or some pattern, or there will be some Face ID, or there will be fingerprint. Otherwise, you will not be able to get into the phone, right? So once you get into the phone, only then you will be able to, that is the physical level. So Kiran, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So let us try to assign the multi-factor authentication here. So here we are going to use a device. So just give some name to your device in case you have got more than one phone. Don't use space. Okay. Let me tell you something. In AWS console, whenever you are working, please refrain from using capital letters or special characters. Try to use lowercase along with dash as much as possible. So this is the device. Okay. Good. If you have more than one, then you can put in dash and then follow it up with a number like 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now in your phone is selected. Okay. So you have selected the. So here the AWS is asking, are you going to use a physical device, some kind of hardware device, or some kind of security key like FIDO, YubiKey, RAS? So these two we are not using. But in when you work for an organization, they would be providing you with this. Okay. Here we are using we are going to use an authenticator app. Okay, so that is selected. Good. Now on your phone, Kiran,
Yeah.
On your phone, you're using an iPhone, so App Store.
Yeah.
App Store or wherever you go for that.
Yeah.
I will click on next.
Now
search for Microsoft Authenticator. This is the app that you should use. You can use Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator.
Yeah, I've already got Microsoft Authenticator.
Then you don't need to download or install it. Use that.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Okay. Now stop sharing your screen. Open the app. Try to add a new device. Once you have stopped sharing your screen, then click on this show QR code.
Okay.
You will have to scan it. So what Kiran is doing now is he already has got the app installed on his phone, and he is trying to add one of this AWS account for multi-factor authentication. So he will come to a place where now while adding, he will have to scan using the phone camera. He is going to scan a QR code that will be displayed on his screen now in the AWS account. So obviously for security reasons, for Kiran's AWS account security, I asked him to stop sharing the screen. Kiran, let us know once you are done.
Yeah. Kallol, see, I'm also having this Microsoft Authenticator to log into my Office laptop. So can I just use this, or do I need to log out of that?
No, keep it separate. Instead of if you're using it for Office, keep that separate. Yeah. You better download and install Google Authenticator.
Oh, I should download Google Authenticator. Okay.
Yeah, don't mix your Office stuff with the training.
Okay.
Kit. Otherwise, you will get confused and
you
will keep thinking I'm putting in the code, but it is not working.
Yeah. So I'm just downloading Google Authenticator. 1 second.
No problem. Take your time. Meanwhile, let me share my screen. Let me, till the time Kiran is doing that thing, let me give you an idea about the multi-factor authentication. So using this multi-factor authentication, you will see, first of all, you need your AWS login. Okay, so actually, let me start from this page. So AWS login, understand the difference. You can log in two modes. Either you will be logged in as a root account holder, or you will be logged in as a IAM user. If you're going to use root account, then it will ask you for your email and password only. Okay, this email should be the one which you used for creating AWS when you did the sign up. Okay, don't mix it. If you have created, please write it down somewhere. If required, create a new email account and then use it if you don't want to mix it up with your personal emails. Okay. Now, once the multi-factor authentication can be applied to both, and not only can be, should be. MFA should be applied to both. Yes.
I've logged in now. I've put in this thing.
Thank you. We will share your screen. Let me complete this chain of thought. So in root account, you will get this, but for any other account that you create using the root account through IAM, that is a IAM account or a IAM user. Okay, so and see, account, user, group, these will be used quite interchangeably. This same name we will also use in while studying Linux, but then whenever you come across the name, make sure you understand in which context it is being used. Right now, I'm going to use account, user, and group in terms of AWS. Okay, they are quite similar, but then they have differences. So it is context-based. When I will be in Linux, then I will be in Linux mode, and I will be using the terms as per the rules of Linux. But otherwise, if I'm in AWS, the AWS rules will follow. So account, when you try to now the login process for an IAM user compared to root account will involve three things. First, it will require the account ID. So every account, when you sign up, you will be assigned an account, and with that account will be related to your root account, and for the root account, you will get a account ID. It would be a 12 or a 16-digit number. I'm forgetting. Yeah, it is 12
digit.
Okay, so this is going to be your account ID. So whenever you log into your IAM account, you will first of all require the account ID. This is the difference between logging in using root and logging in using IAM. And then you will require the username. This username is nothing but the user who we are going to add through the root account first. And then obviously the password. Once you are, I mean, like after that, then you will do the MFA thing. That will be on your phone. So MFA will be auto-generated every 30 seconds. It keeps changing. So that is the security here. Because it is not static, it is dynamic. Whenever it will always keep changing. The moment you log out, and then try to log in again, every time you will require your phone, your smartphone. With the, I mean, like first you will have to log into your phone, and then you will have to open up the app, and these apps also require authentication. So there is a second level of authentication on the phone itself. Without your fingerprint or Face ID or PIN pattern, it should not allow you to log in. And then you will choose the account for which you want to generate the MFA token. You will have to use that token within 30 seconds, within its duration. Otherwise, it will lapse, and then that old token will not work. Okay, so before we share your screen, Kiran, have you got the QR code hidden?
Yeah, I've hidden it. Yeah, I've logged into the account.
Thank you. Now kindly share your screen, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I have to request for remote control again, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this is Kiran's root account, and now he has the message: the MFA device has been assigned. Okay. So root account is the account that you have to secure first, because all the things can be controlled through the root account. Now, if you want to check your account details, all billing you can check from here, and this is your account ID. This is one singular ID that you will always possess, even for the IAM accounts. Okay, so the billing dashboard or any kind of service requests you can do from here. Now, let's go through the security credentials thing here. So the email ID that you choose, write it down somewhere, because this is the one that you will require. So multi-factor authentication is done. Now there is something called access keys. Never ever create any access key on your root account. Never do that. Okay. The reason being, access keys are sort of a pair of public and private keys. But the problem with access keys are that they can be stored. They are not dynamic, they are static, just like user ID and password. Okay. Unlike the MFA token, where it is dynamic. Anytime Kiran wants to log into his root account, he will be forced to feed a token into the MFA, into the console. Okay, so let us actually check it, Kiran, now. Every time anytime you are done with your activity on the AWS console, please remember to sign out. Don't just close the tab here like this, because otherwise the login session details, they are actually stored temporarily for a limited period of time in the browser session cookies. Okay, so always make sure you click on sign out. Okay, so let's try to sign in again. Now everybody will see the difference. Now when Kiran tries to sign in, first the email, then the password. Now see, the MFA code option has come up. Until and unless Kiran types in a 6-digit code, now he is using Google Authenticator app. So
how do I generate this MFA code, Kallol? Like, I don't have a barcode now, right? Yeah.
You see, your device has been registered. Did you use Google Authenticator?
Yeah, Google Authenticator. That
Open
last time
app.
Yeah, I've opened it. Yeah.
Now, when you open Google Authenticator, hold on, let me also be parallelly on the screen. Now, do you not see the services there? Do you see anything like Amazon Web Services?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. So shall I just put that code, because I'm not scanning anything this time, isn't it? I have to just put that code in here.
Yes. So it is a 6-digit code, and there will be a timer to the left, to the right.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Okay. So if that expires again, then you can't use the old code. It will only last for 30 seconds. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Unfortunately, well, I have a document. I will share that. The thing is, see, Kiran, you try to take a screenshot of your mobile phone screen with Google Authenticator on. It will not allow you to take a screenshot. It did?
Yeah, it did. I could take it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like with the code.
Is a security breach. Okay. So iPhone has got a security breach there. I mean, not iPhone. Actually, the Google Authenticator app could not block it. But this same thing, if I try on my Android phone, it won't allow me.
Okay.
So, well, this is not a good thing. So this is clearly actually a defect in Google Authenticator. Anyways, the screenshot also will not help anybody, because the code is dynamic.
30 seconds.
Only for 30 seconds. Okay, so even if you use Google Authenticator or you use Microsoft Authenticator, it does not matter. So let me quickly show you guys when I say Google Authenticator, this is what this app will look like. Okay, this is for your mobile phone, not for your desktop. Don't confuse it. Okay, so download this app from whatever store applies to your phone. It works for all. I'm like, in case somebody has got a BlackBerry or a Windows phone, it works on that as well. Okay, so now we have secured our root account. Now let us create the first user. Okay, so let me actually do one thing. Search for IAM, get into this. So now this will be the generic pattern. Any AWS service you open, you will have the panel on the right where the features relevant to that particular service will be displayed. And then apart from that, you will have the dashboard. Now, apart from that, at the top, there will be your region. Okay, so there are more than 17 regions across the world where AWS provides its services. So right from Asia Pacific, Mumbai. So this is the name and this is the region code. We will be using this code quite a lot when we are using the Amazon resources. Okay, so Mumbai, Osaka, Seoul, Singapore, you will never know the exact location. So these are the regions. We will get to know about them later on. Now, depending on the kind of resource, you need to make sure which region you are in. So right now, the IAM resource is, it is a service which is applicable globally. So anywhere, wherever you have whatever resource, you can log in from anywhere, right? Maybe you are traveling. Today I am in India. Maybe I will go to Hong Kong or Singapore. I will maybe need to access it, right? So that is why the IAM thing is global. Okay, so now in the dashboard, in this section, not on the left panel, in the access management, if we see, why am I not able to scroll here? Okay, so we have got two major things here, access reports and access management. What is there in access reports? You can ignore this for the time being. Let us learn the basics. We should understand user groups, users. These two things you need first of all, and policies. Okay, so what is a user group? Let me share my screen back. Let me try it. I think automatically it will come out. Okay, it did not come up automatically. I have to select again. So let us discuss user groups and users under IAM. Okay, so what we have done till now, we have already logged in as the root account. Okay, one more thing. Here I'm using the root, but this is in terms of AWS. When we will learn Linux, there also we will be using the word root quite frequently. Don't mix it up. And that too in Linux, there are the same word root has got two different contexts that I will teach in Linux. So right now I'm using the word root not in terms of Linux, but in terms of AWS context. But the philosophy sort of is the same. I mean, like everything starts from the root account. So in root account, now I am in the IAM service. And here we are going to create, we can create users. So each user is actually an account in itself. What kind of account? So the root account is the parent account. And the users, all the users that you are creating, they are all child accounts. Now, imagine a scenario. Let's say, now usually what will happen in an organization when you work, so obviously the root account definitely will be there in AWS. Now, the first thing that should be done is first of all, create one admin IAM user. Or rather, I should say IAM admin user. We will create this user in such a way that that we will provide this user with certain rights, and those rights will be such that they can do all the major administrative tasks, all the day-to-day activities. Do not use your root account for doing day-to-day activities. This should be restricted for billing, or there are rare scenarios where only you should be using root account. Or you want to change your AWS subscription. Okay, you can, maybe you are going for a monthly, there are various AWS subscriptions. Okay, this is opening up AMI. This is not exactly what I was looking for. Not exactly what I'm looking for. So if I click on, nope, it is already detecting I have one. Overview, idea categories. Yes. Actually, there is something called pricing. Actually, I'm not getting that page. Probably it will only be visible through the root account. You can pay, you can actually subscribe for AWS support. Okay. That could be on a monthly basis. That could be like a package for a company, or it might be at an enterprise level where the pricing is very high. So in bulk, if you purchase, then they will give you a separate. So that is why they are saying request a pricing quote. So you will be giving your the demand of your resources, what you need, and based on that, AWS guys will actually provide you with a whatever they can provide as per the region, the best possible contract. Okay. So because AWS is pay as you go, it works on a pay as you go model. You will be paying only for what you are using. But then apart from that, there might be contracts and license. Usually they don't do this thing. Okay. But then you might need customer support, like technical customer support for your business. So for that, you will need to pay separately. So the one that we are going to choose is free tier, obviously, but that comparison chart is not coming up. Actually, AWS keeps changing its web page quite frequently. Okay, you will see the way I was using it 6 months back. Now it has been revamped quite a bit. So when are you going to use the root account? Oops. When you are going to do the billing thing, or you want to change your AWS subscription. Sorry, I was not able to show that. They have actually removed that page. So probably it will come up only once you, and I've got multiple accounts, so it is directly identifying that I'm already a user. And apart from that, there will be a rare scenario where your S3 bucket, that is one of the services. Okay, if you forget the password for it, this is one of the rare instances where even an IAM admin user, the admin user can reset the password for other users. But this is one of the rare instances where you will need to log into your root account. So these are very rare situations. You won't need to deal with this. So it is better once you create it, your root account. The first step is immediately create your IAM admin user. Okay, so for that, you're going to have to add a user. I will show the steps now. But before that, I was discussing about user and groups. So now let's say you have an admin user, you log out of root account, you create the IAM admin user. And then again on that also, don't forget, you will have to apply the MFA policy, MFA multi-factor authentication on all users, not just admin, on all users. All the users apart from root account are always IAM users. Now, once you have logged into, created and logged into your admin account, from here, the admin IAM user can create further IAM child users. Okay, so user 1, user 2, user 3, like the ... user n. So all the day-to-day tasks, depending on what is your job role, if it is administrative job, then you will be logged in as the admin. But apart from that, usually what happens when you think about SDLC or software development lifecycle, usually what will happen is once the IAM admin user is logged in, now he will need to create multiple users. Now, depending on the kind of job role the user has, separate rights will have to be provided. Okay, so usually for a team which is working on a SDLC project, software development project, they will, or anything to do with software. It could be a maintenance project also, where there is already existing software. Now there would be a dev team, there would be QA team, quality analyst team, and then one account will be for production. Okay, now in this dev team, so this is a team, there would be more than one dev users. Okay, D1, D2, ... DN. They are all the users individually. Similarly, for QA team, the same thing applies. There will be multiple QAs. Okay, so let me restrict it here only. So now in the
one question.
Yes.
So when you create a user, like from IAM admin user, you'll create a user for development team, like 4 or 5 users you'll create. My understanding, like what kind of rights or what kind of policy should be using for that particular team for development? Is it equal to the admin rights should be giving for them?
Okay, let me answer it. Admin is like the super user now. Okay. And even above admin, so admin will have almost 99% of the rights. Whatever root can do anything, Root can delete all the accounts. Admin cannot delete root. Root can delete admin. And there are certain other things that admin, only very minor things that admin cannot do. Yeah, but I mean, like, if there is a security threat to the root account, any kind of activity which entails a security threat to the root account, admin will not be able to do that. That is very logical, right?
Yeah.
Coming to the job role, in development team, let us take only one team. In development team, there would be multiple profiles. There will be technical manager who will be sort of in a pseudo mode. Like he would be technically sound, but he or she would be managing the resources and budgets rather. Then there will be a technical architect. This person is responsible for designing the software architecture overall. And then there will be lead developers, team leads, and then developers. Obviously, all of them should not have equal rights. The architect or the solution expert, this person should have more rights. Okay. So otherwise, see, any resource that you create in AWS is chargeable. Forget the free tier. Business organizations will never work in a free tier model. Okay, they will, but it is a pay as you go. Now, let's say a T2, a C3 server is being created. This is a kind of server. Okay, C3 large. Depending on the region, on an hourly basis, let's say it is $1.42 are being charged per hour. Okay, and now you give the rights to developers that they can create EC2 instances. Okay, and then the developers start experimenting and they just create 10 node EC2 instances. But there it is not for any usage. So if you give that kind of right to everybody, then you are going to incur a very large bill and it is never secure. So obviously we are not going to do that at all. Then how are we going to deal with this? For that, the level of rights. So when we say rights, let us define this. Rights mean read, write, or execute. These are the three rights. So you can provide only read rights. They can read it, or they can only write. So they can open the stuff and then write on it, write on that file, alter its behavior, or they can only execute. So this would be functions or calls to EC2 instances. They will not be able to read or write, but they can execute. They can run the code. So these are three different features. And how do you implement these rights? We implement these rights through policies. Policies and permissions. Mainly policies. Okay, now these policies can be managed by AWS. There are two modes. Either it is managed by AWS or the company. You can write your own policy also. How do I say it? You can create a policy. Let me just write it like this. As per your business need. Okay. They are in .json format. This is the file format for it. So mostly now keep in mind one thing. We are learning DevOps with AWS. We are not learning AWS cloud. Okay, we will only restrict ourselves to the extent required. Our main focus is on learning DevOps. But what I am discussing here is a little bit more extra, but then this is because the concept, you will see an overlap of this concept in Linux as well. It will be very similar. So we will be assigning policies, but then here there are so many people. Now, let's say there are 8 developers. but there is like manager, there is one technical manager and one architect, and let's say there are 3 leads. Okay, so these 2 guys will have the highest level of rights. So they will have read, write, and execute for the resources, but then will the admin allow it for all the resources? So let me not write it like this. So RWX, remember this, RWX, read, write, execute. So these people need to have these 3 rights. Okay. So, but then will it be for all the resources? No, only the resources that the project requires. Maybe they will be given read, write, execute access for S3 bucket, EC2, or maybe DynamoDB database. Okay, these are separate services. But then until and unless, see, that is why what I was trying to explain to you on chat yesterday, Kiran. By default, if you have not provided any, policy, you have not provided any rights. So if you just randomly keep adding policies, you are providing rights. You have started providing rights to that individual user. Okay. And there are hundreds of policies. So we will only provide that particular policy which is required for that person. So it will be on a need to use basis.
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, although the tech manager and tech architect will have read, write, and execute access for S3, EC2, and DynamoDB, they will not be able to do anything else. They cannot handle billing. They will not be, even if they try to access, they will not be able to access Redshift. They will not be able to access any of the other services apart from S3, EC2, or DynamoDB. They will get an error message. Okay. Now continuing further, for the leads, maybe they can be provided read and execute access only. Sorry. Okay. But then for the 8 developers, we will give them only read and write. They should not be able to execute. So the idea here is the technical manager and architect together will have read, write, execute access. They can actually create. They can do all the stuff. They can read, write, or create. Execute here means creating the instances or creating the resources. Okay. So as soon as you create them, you get charged. You start getting charged. The leads will have execute and read access, but they will not be writing any code on them. But then whatever has been, so let's say the leads, one of the leads creates 5 EC2 instances for 5 separate purposes. And then to these EC2 instances, only read and write access is given to the developers. So they cannot create the EC2 instances, but they can change the way it behaves and they can read the policies that are applied to it. Why? Because they are the people who are going to do the coding. One EC2 instance might need to connect to another EC2 instance. Okay, so then you will need to procure some access key. So for that, then the developer will actually request it to the technical architect again. Once the technical architect is satisfied with it, with the reasoning, then they will create the access key for the coding. Okay, so this is what it is. Now imagine like 8 developers are there in a team, and they will need to be provided S3, EC2, and DynamoDB read write access. Now, do you think it is a good idea, like for the admin to keep creating one user every time? And then first of all, you have to create the user. And then let's say there are 20 different policies which need to be assigned to a particular user as per their job role. So then firstly, the repetitive task of creating a user. That is fine. Creating a user is not much of a hassle. but then searching as per the role, searching for those 20 policies that need to be applied and then individually adding them, that is a hassle, right? So that is the reason why we have the concept of group. Okay, so we will, continuing with the example above, for the development team, there will be dev, architect. This is one group we will create. And to this, let's say we will assign 20 required policies. Then we will have another group for dev leads. In that, now let us say we have reduced 3 policies. So 17 policies will be applied. We are reducing the ability, ability to control here. The control should be based only as per the job role requirement. And then finally, you will have the dev coders. Let me just name it coders. So this is another group. And then let's say they will have only 10 policies applied. Okay, so it is on a need to know basis, need to use basis. Now, let's say so there are 8 developers right now. One of them leaves the organization. He searches for a job and he or she leaves the organization. So another new person comes in. So what the admin guy has to do is just add the new user to the group and remove the existing user who has left the organization from the group. So this is like an inheritance thing. So this is a parent. So it is actually built on the OOPS concept here. So one of the principles of OOPS concept is inheritance. You inherit the properties of your parent. Okay. So parent-child, the child will inherit the properties from the parent. So the parent here is the group, which means if there are 20 policies applied on the group, all the 20 policies, you just need to add the child to the group and all the 20 policies will get transmitted to the child user also. Does that make sense? Sorry.
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, then let's do the practical for this. Kiran, I would need your kind help in this. If you would be kind enough to share your screen once again.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are logged in as the root now. Okay, let
Yeah.
me do one thing. Oh, I don't have access. So request remote control. I will ask you to do it. In case you falter, only then I will click.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to users. So now kindly delete this. Let us do this from scratch. No, it won't work. It won't work.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There is a small refresh button. Okay, good. So now let us add user. Click on the add user button. So just name it admin. Lowercase. Yeah. Now provide user access to the AWS management console. Yes, yes. Check this box. Okay. Specify a user in the identity center. I want to create an IAM user. No, I want to create an IAM user. Scroll down. So the thing is, initially there will be a see. By default, there is one concept here. Whenever a user is created, IAM user is created, one policy will always get attached to it. And that is the IAM user change password. Because any user should have the minimum ability to change their password as per their choice. But that does not mean that admin will not be able to control that user. The admin will not be having access to the child user's password, but they can reset the password. So IAM user change password is a policy. That policy will always be applied to any user. So if you create a user without providing any access to that user, it will automatically get created. Okay. So let's do this. Users must create a new password at next sign in. Okay. Scroll down, please. Click on next.
So Kallol, console, what is auto-generate password and the user must create his own password? Is there no link between this and this?
Auto-generated password is system will create the first password for you for the first time.
Okay. Okay.
Now, but after that,
you need to change it.
Yes. But then anybody can change it, right? So only the person who has that first password, only that person should be able to change it.
Of course. Okay.
Okay. So click on next. It's very logical how they have built it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, scroll down. So add user to a group. So as I said earlier, we need a group here. Okay. So let's create a group. Group admin, group-admin. Okay, now what is the policy? Whatever, see, this is what I was saying. Maybe in a project, suddenly there is a requirement of 20 people. So 20 users have to be created. Will it be feasible to actually 20 users can be added individually, but then if each user has got 20 policies, so 20 into 2400 times the admin guy has to click. Not a good idea. So that is why we will create one group and then assign whatever policies are required to that particular group, and then add or remove people from the group. That's it. Automatically, as I explained earlier, through inheritance, the policies will get applied. So in the admin group, so see, you don't even need to search. There is only one thing that we need, that is administrator access. Only the first one. That's it. Rest, whenever we are trying to do something, when we come across it, we are getting blocked. Only then we will get into root account and add that privilege to the group. Okay. Otherwise, there are out of these, if you keep clicking, then you are giving unnecessary access, which is not a good idea. Okay. So we are only creating the group administrator access and using that. So the policy was not applied at the user level. The policy was applied at the group level. Okay, we have given the user and we have created a group, and we want this user, the admin user, to go into group admin. Actually, can I go back to previous? Yeah, let's do one thing. Let us rather name it admin-1. There may be other admins also, right?
Okay.
You can't expect one person to be working in a 24-hour shift. So obviously there will be multiple admins required here. Yeah, fine. So admin-1 and then assign to the group admin. So these are the two policies. By default, any new user will always have this IAM user change password policy. Okay. Please, it is for all. Kindly keep a copy of your, have a pen and copy with you always. Please note down anything that you create, like this user ID and password. Otherwise, it will be a very difficult, problematic thing for you. Okay, so now this IAM user has been created. So let's do one thing now. You can stop sharing your screen, copy these things. So
copy all these three, yeah?
Yeah, copy and put it in a notepad. Stop sharing your screen first.
Okay.
No. Stop. You are still sharing your screen. Hold on. Yeah, good. So once you are done with it, now we will log in using your admin user. instead of the root account.
Yeah.
Write it down somewhere first, and then don't log in. Okay, just type in the password. Anyways, nobody will be able to see the password. It will be dots.
That's fine.
And you will anyways have to reset the password.
Yeah. You want me to share it again now?
Yeah, whenever you are ready. Are you ready, Kiran?
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah. We are able to see. So let's go ahead.
Shall I log out of
Your root account? Yeah. You can't keep logged in using the same time.
Yeah, I log off now.
Yeah. So now, please log into your. So now, see, once you click, go to sign into the console. Now, instead of root user, you have to choose IAM user. So this will be your 12-digit account ID. Do you remember it?
No. But
Okay.
I've just copied that link and everything. So if I just click that link on the browser, will it not open there?
But then the 12-digit account ID will still be required. Okay.
No. Sorry. If I just copy
this is your ID, 12-digit ID.
Okay, shall I just copy this one then?
Yeah, you can use that one.
Last time what happened is, just for the information, see, if I just copy that and paste it on the browser, it automatically gets that link. For example, I'll just show you.
Do it.
See, it automatically loads that 12-digit ID. See, for this, like this.
Yeah, because it is already there in the link. So that is one way. But see the difference here for the rest of the folks. Now you need to put in your admin user name. That is admin-1.
Yeah.
And the generated password. So usually they will provide you with, they will send it to you by email once it is created.
So shall I just paste this down and then carry on?
Yeah. It should work. Sign in. So now the old password, and now you can type in your new password. So this new password you need to remember. So this screen came up because change password policy, IAM user change password policy had been applied. Now see, in your login, you are seeing admin-1.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what you need to do is click on this drop down.
So, sorry, which drop down?
Top right corner where it says admin-1.
Okay.
Now go to security credentials. And similarly to what you did in the root account, you need to assign the multi-factor authentication to this as well.
Okay. Again, it's a similar way, right? Like
similar way, same method.
And I can use the same Google Authenticator app for this, yeah?
Don't keep changing apps, otherwise you will confuse yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, thank you everybody for joining. We are going to see, this is the device name, Shiva, sorry, Kiran.
Yeah.
This is the device name, okay? So, I mean, like, keep a name. I mean, like, it is up to you. Don't get confused here. You should be able to identify it.
Yeah. See, I've given the same name, even the root user, root account as well, and the same phone I'll be using for this as well. So I'm just keeping the same name. Is it okay?
Okay.
Or should I
Okay. Yeah, I actually use multiple phones, so that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, I'll be using the same phone on the same app.
Cool. So you can stop sharing your screen now.
Yeah.
So guys, this is how we secure our account on AWS, and it is mandatory to do it. Definitely you should do it for the root account first, because root account we are not going to use on a daily basis, and it is not a good practice as well.
Kallol, sorry, I'm just getting an error. It says that I cannot create it because the device already exists. Shall I just share my screen?
Share your screen. Yeah.
Are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah. Okay. But I don't have access. Hold on. Give me access.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so we are we already have a device, but then the device name. So, but this is a device name. But the thing is, the device name that you're trying to add, see, the root account owner could be a different person using a different iPhone. And then the admin user would be a different person using a separate phone. But then you are giving the same device name.
Okay, so
it's just the name. This is not
name
the
is should be
device.
different. Okay. Okay.
So just type in hyphen
Sorry.
admin iPhone. Yeah. Don't use caps. Don't use caps. Admin iPhone.
Okay, the name should be different. Okay.
You missed a H, by the way. Let's see. I mean, like, that is my prediction, but ideally that should work.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay?
I think this
Cool.
is what.
Now stop sharing your screen. Now here, one second. Don't do anything. Share your screen back again. And there is one important thing I need to show people.
Oh, are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah. So one piece of advice, kindly scroll down. So when you are setting up a device in step 3, there are 2 MFA codes, consecutive MFA codes. Okay. So while doing this, folks, please remember that from your Google Authenticator app, you need to put in the codes which are consecutive. You cannot leave a gap in between. Okay. So as soon as the first code expires, immediately it will come up with the second code. So within that 30 seconds, you have to put in the second code and click on add MFA. Otherwise, this part will fail. And this happens only for the first time when you are adding the device for MFA authentication only once. Rest of the time, you will not be prompted with 2 codes. Rather, you will have to use only 1 MFA code. So keep this thing in mind. Well, on that note, you can stop sharing your screen. Thank you very much, Kiran, for your support here. We will meet again tomorrow, same time. Unless anybody has any questions, I'm opening up the questions here.
Kallol, just one question. It's not related to this thing. So will we be having classes from Monday to Sunday, or is it Monday to Friday?
It is Monday to Friday.
Friday, same. Okay.
Yeah.
And Easter Friday, there'll be class, right? Easter Friday and Easter Monday. This Friday and next Monday.
Oh, Friday and Monday. Okay. So it is holiday.
No, in UK only it's holiday. But I'm just asking if it is there. I don't have any problem attending the class.
No. How many of you guys are comfortable? Let me take a quick poll here.
I'm fine.
The rest of that, if you are fine. Okay, then Kelly, Srinivas.
I am fine. Yeah.
You're okay?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, then let's conduct class. Yes.
I would prefer Monday to be holiday. It's a holidays for kids as well. So
Monday.
Monday, yeah. I'm okay to I'm okay to do it on Friday. It's just the Monday, you know.
Okay, let's take a holiday on Monday.
Oh, thank you.
That's okay. Till Friday, then we will have class.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, guys. I mean, like that was a non-technical thing. Anyways, anything technical with related to today's class? Anyways, you will get the recording, so you can, if you get stuck anywhere. So before we start using any of the Amazon resources, kindly create. Obviously, you need the AWS account. If you have already done it, then you already have the root account. Secure your root account with multi-factor authentication. Then create a new user, add it to a new group called admin, just the same way as it was shown in the video. And then add the multi-factor authentication to that admin IAM user as well. And the rest of the course we will do only using the admin user login. So there are multiple users, accounts, links, passwords. So keep them handy. Write it down somewhere, store it somewhere. Otherwise we will, and even if you forget the things, don't forget which phone number you used for using the Authenticator app, and also the email which you used to sign up for the AWS service. Cool. So we will not have class on Monday on account of Easter, but then till Friday we will continue the class business as usual. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.